If you have been searching in North Carolina, I'm sure that you look at those beautiful pictures, videos about different coastal cities like Wilmington, North Carolina.
But what if I told you that there is a lower cost of living and a safer weather, an amazing healthcare system, and a safer location like no flooding, and still be only an hour from the ocean?
Exactly. Therefore, today we are going to break down for you the living in Wilmington versus Greenville, North Carolina, and everything that you need to know about housing, prices, cost of the living, flood area, any of those natural things that it might happen, and then break it down for you.
Honestly, we will tell you at the end, we do believe Greenville is the safer choice and the smarter choice, especially for families and relocators. And we're going to explain that in this video below. So let's talk about the first thing, cost of living.
Therefore, we are biased from the beginning of the video.
I'm just admitting it. I'm admitting it.
Therefore, my wife is admitting it. But really, it's up to you that living in Greenville or Wilmington, North Carolina. And the first thing that we really wanted to talk about, of course, is cost of living. Really, home prices based on the different websites in ZillowRealtor.com. If you look, the average or median number is something up from $260,000 to $275,000. And in Wilmington, how is it looking?
It's $475,000 to $550,000. But this budget will mean that in Wilmington, you're getting a much smaller house, often older, and definitely probably in a flood zone. Because don't forget, North Carolina, the waters are washing away. This isn't the rocky north. Greenville's property taxes are a little higher on paper, but because the values are lower, your tax bills will actually be lower. And of course, you don't have to pay for that flood insurance. So since insurance is cheaper inland, as I just said, there's no coastal surges, there's no wind, there's no hail add-ons that you have to do. Do you want to add more?
Exactly. And also, if you're looking at either other than property, looking at the grocery, for example, grocery, dining, the cost of actually those items in Greenville is something at least 10 to 15% lower than Wilmington, North Carolina.
And if you're thinking about investing, Greenville's rental market is strong because we have the college area, we have steady job growth, and you have demand from corporate that is going on. So if you're looking for your value for your money, Greenville's going to win hands down. $500,000 near a flood and where you might have to worry about every sort of hurricane, or you get a brand new 4-bedroom with some land home, quiet neighborhood, peace of mind for that same price. And you're going to get lower insurance, lower taxes at the end of the day. So let's talk about the next thing, which is...
I mean, you can get it even lower than that, but yes.
Let's talk about my favorite thing, economics.
Exactly. Therefore, now we wanted to tap into really economy and stability. And of course, you know that the Wilmington economy is much more flashier. They have port jobs, tourism, and of course film industry, but it fluctuates really with the seasons.
Whereas Greenville, North Carolina, yes, everybody thinks ECU, college town, but there's more than that because you have a lot of businesses growing here. ECU Health is a major employer, but we also have other corporations that are always looking to come here as well. Healthcare, advanced manufacturing, logistics, technology, it is coming here because there. And Greenville's unemployment rate is about 4.5%, which is the same as any other state average, but since the housing is affordable, families get to be more stable, and your dollar goes a little further. So,
exactly.
You want to add anything else?
Exactly. And many remote workers are actually choosing Greenville. Why? Because they know the big city salary, they can get the big city salary, but pay local prices, and that's in the long run is going to save them a lot of money that they can invest for their future.
And a lot of our relocating families at the end of the day are looking for stability. They're not looking to run from every single hurricane. And Greenville isn't built on tourism and the tourism industry. We have year-round jobs, year-round industry, so the community is definitely growing, and that's why the national markets might be slower, but as we're filming the video, but Greenville is still appreciating in value. It's a city that lets you plant your roots. Exactly. Now let's talk about lifestyle, which is one of the things we love about here.
Exactly. Therefore, we wanted to really talk about lifestyle and community feel. And first, we're going to start with Wilmington. Of course, Wilmington lifestyle is very coastal, and also you have beach access, you have tourist activity, and as a result, you have a heavier traffic and higher seasonal cost because of the location.
And we lived in Miami. We lived in Sunny Isles Beach, to be entirely honest. So we know what it's like to live on the coast and be right by the beach at all.
Exactly.
And while the beach is a lovely thing to go to every so often, you typically do not go every single day. And if you are looking to grow your family, maybe beach life isn't going to be the necessary place for you. It's fun to visit. I love going to the beach still. It makes me calm, but the beach isn't necessarily the thing I need to live by every single second.
Single focus, yeah.
So Greenville is neighborhood friendly, growing, family oriented, and we still have tons of things to do: restaurants, coffee shops, outdoor events, greenways, and our commutes are short. I love that about Greenville. I remember in Miami, I would sit there for hours and hours in my car waiting for the cars to move so I could actually go where I'm trying to go, even to the beach. It was not fun. Now in Greenville, I can be anywhere in 15 minutes, and I love it.
And the average actually commute time in Greenville is 18 minutes, and the national average is 26 minutes. Therefore, we are well below national average. And Greenville is all about connection and comfort, not crowded. Definitely, if you have a family or you wanted a much more friendlier environment that we were missing again in Florida, people are so friendly. They wave at you, they wanted to talk to you, and you can have a really good conversation. And the next thing is what?
Education. We're going to talk about education. Now, Wilmington, I'm going to start with Wilmington does have the new Hanover County school systems, which are ranked higher. This is true. But in Greenville, we do have the Pitt County schools. Pitt County schools. It's definitely a growing area. Yeah. And plus, you have ECU, Pitt Community College, and you have a lot of private options as well. So you have education is a drive around here. There's a lot of research and a lot of innovation. So Greenville is not just a college town, as people like to say. We have a lot of population growth, infrastructure, new housing communities, shopping areas, and medical expansion. So Greenville is on the upswing, definitely.
Exactly, which we end up with the medical center. Now that's the next thing that we want to talk about. It's about healthcare advantage. And Greenville, North Carolina actually is a hub, especially in the East Coast. Why? Because we have ECU, East Carolina University Medical Center, that has more than 900 actually beds, and it has a trauma also center. And this is so important for many of the people that they really come here to get the treatment. And the other side, Wilmington, we have a Novant Health, is strong but is not research-based at all. And in Greenville, North Carolina, they handle even advanced specialty, and as I said, they have a trauma care. And for retiree, what about the retiree?
Retirees and families where you might have some health needs, having a nationally recognized medical center minutes away is something to really, really consider, because ECU isn't just a hospital. It's a place where specialists come and train and practice. So making sure you have access to that kind of healthcare is super important. Let's talk about climate, which is what I started on.
I think my wife already touched on that a little bit in the beginning of this video, but really we wanted to talk about climate and flood risk.
We're not that
Both
far from
cities
each other.
have definitely, Greenville have a warm summer and Wilmington have a warm summer, but we have a really mild winters. And Wilmington precipitation is close to 57.9 inches a year rain they get, and versus Greenville in average 49 inches, and is significantly wetter than Greenville, definitely. And what about the FEMA?
Okay, let's talk about FEMA, because you're going to have to pay housing and flood insurance, because it's flood zones A, flood zones AE, which are going to require that you have a house, you must have flood insurance. Where Greenville is a little bit more inland, we have fewer hurricanes, less wind damage, because we're not right there on the ocean, and we do have some areas where you're going to have some mandatory flood insurance by the river, but generally speaking, we don't have that. We're going to be, obviously, if something you consider it, you have to think about it. So you have a lower natural disaster area, so you have lower stress and lower monthly cost all that time. And so while I love to go to the beach, I love to hang out at the beach, I love to look for fun. Apparently looking for shark tails or whatever, shark teeth is something people do on the beaches besides the seashells. We only ever look for seashells. But making sure that we go and I still have fun, but then I can come home and I can be home with my kids at the end of the day in my nice house with my peace of mind, which is really what matters. So if you're really relocating from out of state like we were, you want security for your investment, you want to make sure that that house is still standing. Yeah, that's something very, very important.
Exactly. Now we wanted to talk about location and access. Yeah. Of course, we wanted to know what is the location access is. For example, for Greenville, we are roughly 60 minutes from the Atlantic Beach. If you're going to Emerald Isle, something between 80 to 90 minutes. And we have 1 hour 25 minutes from Raleigh, if you want it, or faster if you want to go. And definitely if you wanted to fly from Raleigh Airport, That could be another things. From the surrounding suburbs, like in winter, we are like a 5 to 10 minutes, depends on the location that you are from in the Greenville. And we have the local airport, no?
PTV, what we call it, but it's Pitt Greenville Airport.
And then we have connection all the way to Charlotte for any national travel. What about Wilmington?
And which is what we do all the time. Do you have a choice between driving 90 minutes to Raleigh and taking an international flight, or taking my local one, going to Charlotte, and then from Charlotte, going wherever I need to go? So I choose that as much as possible because that's what I choose to do. It's much easier for me. But there is a trade-off. In Wilmington, you do have a short, maybe you can walk to the beach, but is that worth your saving and your safety? That is a big question. So Greenville, yes, we do have to drive to get to the beach, but if you're relocating, it's going to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars on a home, and you can still get to the beach and then take your family home like we do. Next thing we'll talk about is future.
Exactly. Therefore, future outlook, Wilmington growth is way faster, and by pushing locals out of the affordability ranges, as we said, is 475 to over 500,000. And Greenville, this past couple of years, specifically after 2020, we had a very steady and strategic growth in Greenville, allowing the families, retirees, people that they come to work in a high-tech company or the companies around here, like a pharmaceutical company, from different part of the either north, like in New York and New Jersey, or even sometimes from Florida, Boston, Denver. We had people from California, and the farthest one was
Japan now.
Seattle, Washington. I mean, not including the Japan. Yes, therefore, these are relocation home buyers that come into taking advantage of this low cost of living and medical access for their family. And of course, what else you can add to that?
Okay, so rental demand study in Greenville because of the hospital, incoming professionals that are here, and also because Greenville offers affordability home ownership. It's something to really consider. It's not a vacation bubble home to where the next hurricane is going to knock things out or the next water is going to come in there. So if you're really looking to relocate from out of state, Greenville will probably check your boxes if you're looking for affordability, strong infrastructure, and of course healthcare, and Wilmington healthcare. But Wilmington looks great on paper. It looks fun to be at. But Greenville is built to last, and that is something I want to add there. You want to add anything else?
The final take is, if you have a dream to walk on the beach and you don't mind,
we're happy to help you.
You don't mind the premium paying. Wilmington is the best choice, and we are happy to help you. But if you wanted the stability, affordability, and safety, again, Greenville is here. That it might be, again, we can help you. And we are so excited to doing this for you. We are Alan Victoria Pinder to make sure to give you all the aspect that is needed to be aware of when you wanted to move to North Carolina and you're choosing the best city to live in. Of course, Greenville, North Carolina. Don't forget to look at all of our playlists here, and don't forget to subscribe and comment below. We love to connect with you, and you can get all of our how to connect with us in the description.